Hi guys, Victoria here for Tonic Studios and welcome to my channel Beyond Paper by Victoria. If you're new to my channel, big warm welcome, and if you're familiar with my channel, it's lovely to see you. Now, today, brand new launch from Tonic, birthday week, and you're all asking about memory books. We have a box of memories, so let me guide you through. Now we are going to make a tutorial. I have done quite a few steps already because obviously, as you can imagine, it's quite time consuming and we would never get through all of it. So I've got my dies here on a magnetic sheet, and here you will see 2 plain edge dies, a detail die, 2 plain edge dies, a detail die, and so on all the way down till you get to the smallest size. So this would be your box lid, this would be your box base, and then you can put this detail panel into your lid if you wish. Don't have to, it's an option. So here you'll see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes, okay? And if you're familiar with an exploding box, this is kind of a very similar thing, but it's for all your memories. It could be an exploding box if you want it to be. It could be just for a gift box. So it's up to you. Now, please excuse my die because I have had a running in my machine, and as I always say to you, 1 die at a time, otherwise you'll rhubarb your die. That's what will happen. So ignore my die, but these are your different size panels, okay? So your largest box, you're going to have this panel here, okay? And this panel here. This will act as your outer panel around the box. And this will be your inner panel with the glue tabs folded in, so it acts like a sleeve and a pocket for you to slide a tag or a piece of card with photographs on, or actually it could reveal a photo on the back and journaling on the front, where you were, what you were doing at that time, etc., and who's in the photographs. Remember, as I always say with memory book stuff, don't forget journaling. It's so very important because as it gets handed down, you know, there's husband and I've got many photographs in the loft and we have no idea who the people are, but we know they're a relation of some time. So it's important to do that journaling if you can. So right, so those are your sides. You'll see here that has a pocket, that has a pocket. I'll show you as we go. You have a locking mechanism on the front of the box. Now you can have 1, you can have 2, or you don't have to have any at all. It's optional. Has some little stars and hearts here to decorate your pages just a little bit further. Then you have 4 different sentiments there to add. And then these panels here are the lids to your boxes. So don't forget, this largest die here would be the lid. So you would need to cut 2 of these, and then this will be your base. You'll need 2 of these. If you decide to add the detail into your lid, you would cut the detail into the lid panel, okay? And then you can layer up and add different colours underneath if you want to. And then obviously there is your largest lid, the next lid, the next lid, and the smallest lid, okay? So that's the die sets. So we're actually going to be using that die set, of course, and then we're going to be using the tags that you have to cut out of the Tonic Studios papers. So we've used this tag in conjunction with it. So I'm going to show you the little bits that I have made up already, and then I'm going to show you how to make the largest box. So this is the smallest box, and as you can see, that's your lid with that beautiful detailed panel. So you have a choice of 2 different panels, either this one I've used here or this one here. Okay, so the lid comes off, and obviously you would have a photograph in there, or little photographs here, or it could be a tooth, a lock of hair, baby bracelet. It could be anything like that. Wedding, it could all be all different bits of favours. So it's really up to you what you put in there. But like I said to you, you can use it as an exploding box as well, or just as a gift box. Okay, so if you wanted to make it a solid box, you would have to then make your own little hinges, but that's not difficult. You know, you guys know how to do those type of things now. So that is the smallest box. So then we're going to go to the next box. So obviously this is the second size up, and we've decorated it inside with some decorative papers. We've used those little love hearts, and then we've just cut on the paper trimmer a piece of card that will fit inside of the pocket. Now I know you're going to say, oh, doesn't it come with that? It hasn't, because we wanted to keep the die set affordable. So you're good with mats and layers of all different shapes and sizes. You could put tags in there if you wanted to put tags in there, and it's been left to your own imagination. Okay, so we've just put some little ones in there with some ribbon, and then we've decorated the other side. Now I haven't decorated the base because that's going to be stuck to the next layer. So the idea is that that one will be stuck in that one, and then these will lift up. We then have a decorative lid, and again I've added extra layers here that aren't all those layers in the set. I've just added some extra layers myself. Okay, so then that one will go in that one. All right, and then we go up to the next size. So we have this next size here. Again, we've added some mounts where you would add photos, and then we've decorated the other side. So this could be anything. It could be anything that you wanted in here. And again, those sides will lift up, and then we've done another lid here, and then that will go on there. So I'm going to make this the largest lid with you and decorate it, show you what I've done. So grab your cuppa or a cold drink, because it is 31C at the moment in the UK. It's very hot today. So as I said before, I've made some tags from that tag set, so you'll all be familiar with this from the memory books. So we've used that today, and we've just put some nice little pink ribbon in there to tie it all together. Okay, so got all my bits and pieces here. So we've got memories, we've got family, we've got on this day, and we've got friends. Okay, so those are different sentiments, and of course don't forget you can use all the sentiments from your other memory book sets. So these are my layers for my lid. So as you can see, you've got a lovely decorative panel there for your lid. I've just matched the paper with it underneath, but you could just have a piece of paper that matches your box. You don't have to use this panel, but I've just got the two together there. So I am going to glue that panel together, and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. So if you're not familiar with the glue press, we now have these available in the UK to purchase direct from Tonic, and all links to the products I'm using today will be in the description. So if you would like to purchase through me, you may, but there is no pressure for you to do so. So this is the glue press, and I will give you a little guided tour around there if you're not familiar with it. I think many of you will be. It's been out a while now, but we've not been able to get it here in the UK. So basically it holds our Nouveau glue, and your normal Nouveau glue bottle would have the plastic tip. Here we have the fine metal tip, and what's lovely about this is that you use a lot less glue, so your glue lasts a lot longer, goes a lot further. And then in the base of this press you have like a rubber, see it there, like a rubber bung, and that seals the tip whilst you're using your gun, so it stops the air getting into the nib. Now as you will see here, it actually holds your lid with the pin, so if you do get a blockage and you've left it in there and forgotten, which I quite do often, to be fair, I'm not going to tell porkies, you just put your pin in and it gets rid of all the tacky glue that's just hiding inside there, and that just secures it so you're not going to lose your lid. Now, when your glue has had it and it's empty, which, like I said, it's going to last you a very long time, it just slides in and out. So you leave the nib on, you take the lid off, okay, and it just slides in, and you click and it's in, okay. And to take it out, you just push away from yourself and out it pops, okay. So that is really good, but you do need to take the lid with the pin off, that's all, okay. And then that just sits in there like that whilst you're using it. Then when it's not in use, put your lid on, and you know, it just sits in there happily, no issues at all, okay. So the link for that is in the description, okay. So I will be using that throughout. So we need 3 of these for the lid, okay, and then we need the largest hexagon. So let me just double check which is my largest, because I cut all this out last night. So let's have a look. One is slightly bigger than the other, which is that one. So this is the lid, this is the base. So we'll put that one over there, and we'll put this one over here, so we know where we're at. So way I like to do it, take one of these, add some glue, okay, and as always I recommend personally wet adhesive, okay, and then push down, oh, she says push down till you know it's grabbed. Now in warm weather it can take a little bit longer. I'm just going to take this off because I know it's going to rattle and it's going to annoy everybody, so let me just get rid of that. There we go. So when you know that's grabbed, then move on to your next section. So I'm just going to move on to the next section. So I'm going to put adhesive on this panel like that, and then I'm going to tuck in into the next section, and just take your time, make sure it's all level. There we go. If you want to use your bone folder just to make those fibres stick to one another a little quicker, then yeah, you can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to miss that one, and then I'm going to put my next one again, glue on that panel, and then glue that one down. There we go. I so wanted to leave the fan on because it's 31C today, and I thought, oh, this is too hot for me. And I thought, oh gosh, no, I can't leave the fan on, all you'll hear will be a gushing noise, so that wouldn't be very good on a video. So if you start to see me melting away on the desk, you'll know why. So then I'm going to go back to that first one because that will have dried now. So again, glue on there, and then bring that one in. Alright, and you can kind of place it down on the edge of your box there, looking down on it, and then you can get your bone folder and go along, if that's easier for you. We all have our own ways of doing it, and there isn't, I always say there's not a right way, there's not a wrong way, it's whatever way works for you, isn't it? So I just go along there like that. So now I'm going to add glue to that one, and I'm going to tuck that one in. There we go. And I do apologise if I bring it towards me and I start hugging it. We have a habit of doing that. And there we go. And then that last one then, to add adhesive to there. And you can see how freely that glue comes out. It's just effortless. It really is. And like I said, it does make your glue go one heck of a lot further, that is for sure. Because, you know, everybody has a tendency to overglue. When you see things warping, it's usually because too much glue's been added. And if you don't use a deluxe adhesive and you use another glue and it has a high content of water in it, then that will make your card even soggier, really. But I mean, deluxe adhesive is just amazing. And I know I'm biased, but oh my gosh, it's the best glue I've ever used, I'll tell you that. And there's not many I haven't tried. We always have a try, don't we? Right, so we're just going in now to those little glue tabs there, and then just wait until that glue has grabbed. One more there. So there we go. Lovely. There we go. And then if you want to line the inside of your lid, then you can put him inside there. You can glue it in. I'm just going to place that in for now because he's just nested himself in there with no bother. I can glue that in later. But that is your lid. So I have cut the pattern paper with a die. I've then just freehand, I've gone round with my scissors and just done an extra layer just because I wanted another layer there. So you could be adding foam pads onto here if you wished, but I want this flat, so I'm just going to add that there. And then you can go ahead and you could add further decoration, flowers or little baby things, whatever the occasion this box is going to be for you. So then we're just going to add adhesive then to the back. All right, and then put that one down. There we go. Just lifts it with that border around the edge there, but you can make as many matte layers as you like. I'm sure you've all got hexagons in your stash as well if you didn't fancy doing it freehand. But right, so we're going to add these decorative panels to the side. So we'll add a glue to a few of those so it can be going tacky. There we go. So I'll add that one. Just a lovely, I love 3D, as you know. You know, I love nothing better than to get something 3D, take it apart, change it up a little bit, but to have like a memory box, a box of memories, I think is lovely. It's something a little bit different. A fantastic keepsake for a gift for any occasion. Like I said, I could see, well, you'll have to see the launch. I did one in the brand new Christmas papers, that lovely paper that Karen says is my absolute favourite. I have done one in those, and I've got to say I fell in love with it. I didn't want to send it in, I didn't want to part with it, but sadly it had to go back to Tonic. I couldn't keep it. I wanted to. I think many of us DT, when we find something that we really, really love, we find it extremely hard to part with it. But I guess you guys are the same. You make things for friends, and then when you've made it, you think, oh, can I keep it? You think, no, I made it for that special friend. So just grab those till you know the glue has dried all the way round. Vicky, have a little tidy up there. I am going to take that out, and I am going to, she says, she's doing a juggling act. Can I get that out? Yes, I can. I'm going to glue that in because it'll drive me potty otherwise. So, a bit of adhesive there. And then you pop. So just go in with your bone folder, squish it down, and that is your lid, ready for its sentiment when we put the sentiments on. So I'm going to just put that to one side, okay, and then we're going to make the base of the box. So let me find my pieces because I've got them all here. So as I said to you before, a couple of them in the set make this pocket here, and the tabs then glue. This is the side of your box, which will glue to your base, and then we're going to be sticking that on the inside and creating then a section to pull out. And I've just added a mason layer onto the bottom of the pocket for another pocket to put the tags that I've cut out. Okay, so we're going to do that now. So let's get one of the bases. So you can see this has a little tab at the bottom. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add our hexagon there on the bottom. All right, if you get the excess glue you can wipe it off, but it will dry clear. Okay, I've been rather generous there and I have moved it, so let's put that back. Okay, and then hope we're still in view. Oh, I've been over generous there, haven't I? Right, so the next one, where am I at, Vicky? Where are my layers? Right, so again I'm going to put that adhesive on that tab, and we're going to add the next one, and we're just going to do this till we go all the way around, guys. Alright, now as you see, the other boxes in the collection, they just have sides like this, but there are the largest one and the second one up that have this inner pocket. And it's optional, you know, you don't have to put anything in there if you don't want to. I'm sure you'll find another use for those as well, not just this box. So we'll go around and we'll add another one, because you could put this pocket on the front of a card as well. Right, so we just work our way around. I am hoping all this is in shot. My camera is way up there, so I can't tell, but I think we'll be all right. So again, down we go, and then we just do it till we go all the way around. So another 2 to go. Now you could add the inner bit before you add it to this, but I like to add this first. For me, this worked the best way for me. So I think you get more of a butt edge, if that makes any sense, where we are adding the tab here to the base. You're getting a very flush finish. And I think if you add this first, it can be a bit bulky, but there isn't a right way or a wrong way. And again, you're going to find your way, and maybe you prefer to do it the other way. For me, I do like to do it this way. Right, so let's just check that that is all stuck down. Flip him over, and then we're going to cover the base, okay? because we like everything hidden, everything neat and tidy, and we don't like to see messy workings. So we lay that in the centre like so. Make sure we are bang in the middle, and just rub that till you know that is adhered. Flipping back over, and then I like to line the inside of mine, just my personal choice there. Okay, and then we're going to put that down there. I could have gone maybe a little bit bigger with that paper, because by the time we add the next box you might not see that, but we know it's there. Okay, so this is where I say you can add these first. It's personal choice. So how many have I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There should be a 6th one. So this is how it comes cut. Okay, so you have a glue tab on one side, the other side, and across the bottom. So I've cut some decorative paper there to go on the front. And down he goes, like that. And then just freehand, I've decided that I want this piece of card to be the same width from the score line to the score line. And it's going to go just above that score line, just to give yourself a tiny little bit of room where you're going to fold the tab in. So I've just cut a piece of decorative paper on a black layer, all on the paper trimmer, and then I've added that to a mat of white just to break that colour up and bring that white and that black back into play. And then I add a little bit of glue on one side, across the other side, and across the bottom, because obviously we want this to be a pocket. Excuse me. And then this is going down here, but you can see I'm not putting it on the score line, I'm putting it just above the score line, because we've got a lot going to be going on at the bottom of that page where you're going to be gluing it. So just bring it just above that score line. And then there we have created a pocket and a pocket. So your tag is going to go in that pocket, and then this slider, which has just been done on your guillotine, is going to go on the inside, and you just measure that out accordingly. Let me see if I've got a ruler to roughly see what that is. So it's just over 2.5 inches by 4.25 inches. So that's what I have done for that layer to go into that pocket there. Okay, so we'll put that to one side. So there is one that I've not put a panel on, so we'll stick this panel on to match. There we go. There we are. And these are just some pattern papers in my stash that I had. So there we go. So that's that. Right. So the pocket. So crease your score lines there. Okay. Go over them with the bone fold if you want to get a nice crisp, clean fold. And then we want to add adhesive along that strip and along that one and along that one. All right, and then what I tend to do is work further away from me. I'll guide it towards that bottom, and I will guide it towards the top to find where I need to be holding it. And what I tend to do is hold it And once I've got it where I need it, just press down and hold it until I know it's grabbed. And then that way, I find doing it this way, I'm not going over that score line, so I can easily pull it back. If I added this part, this part here, to this part before I added it to here, you could exceed that score line, and then you're not going to be able to crease it backwards and forwards easily enough. That's what I found. So I found this way worked easier for me, but like I say, we all do work differently. So you'll see one DT member do it one way and one do it another way. It's what works best for you. So there is no right way or wrong way. And we're just here for a little bit of inspiration, really. Nothing more, nothing less. Right. We've just had little teething problems. We've found a way around it, and it saves you the anxious, oh, have I done it right, have I done it wrong? Right. So again, I'm just pinching that, and then I'm pressing it down on the desk, and then I'm using my weight behind it to hold it in place. So I do apologise if I do go off camera at the top here, because it is quite large, this largest box. So I'm just going to take that excess glue away whilst I can. There we go, that's a lot neater. And then we just do this, guys, till we've worked all the way around. So you will take longer, obviously. You're not going to have all glue stuck to you and everything. You're just going to take your time. But I love this. I think this is, you're going to have some fun with this. And of course, when this releases, there is papers that go with it, autumnal, and wow, they are stunning. So you'll have a choice of paper pad with it too. I'm not showing you the papers because I've used an awful lot of them, so I can't show you in its entirety, but you will see the papers when it comes to launch. So like I said before, just put your weight behind it and press down. Blimey, it isn't getting any cooler. Blinking heck. It's very warm in this craft room. And just keep pressing on other areas just to make sure that they have all stuck down, and then we move on to the next section. Right, I think my hubby will come in here after and he'll just find me in a puddle on the floor. Well, she was in here, guys. I don't know where she's gone. I'm melting. I'm melting. Right. Okie dokie. I wouldn't be any good, me, in a hot country. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to cope. We're not used to it, are we, us Brits? Right. We're not equipped. Oh, what I wouldn't give for air conditioning. Oh, wow. Anything is in England, we'd only need it for 2 weeks of the year, won't we? Right. They have given rain for all next week, but they've said that we are going to have another heat wave next weekend. Oh dear. Right, nearly there, guys. I didn't want to do this ahead of time because obviously I have done the other 3 boxes. And I wanted to show you something, but kind of when you've put one box together, it's just a rinse and repeat. Obviously design, etc., you can change your papers and where you put photos, because this is, like I said, this is your box, so it's up to you how much you want to put in it and what you want to put in it. You might not want to use it as a memory box, you might want to use it for something else. You might just want it for an exploding box with lots of different words and pictures and bits and pieces in. It's not necessarily a memories box. Last one, I hear you say, yay! Thank goodness for that. Don't forget, you can always put me on fast forward if you don't want to listen to me blobbling away. Blobbling away. Right, last one. And we go. Like I say, you might find it easier to have these stuck in to this piece before you add it to the base. This way for me, just worked for me this way. There we go. Oh, my glasses are steaming up now. But if you could just see me, honest to God. Oh, I had a shower not long ago and I thought, oh, I'm not drying my hair, there's no point. Nobody's going to see me. I'm not doing a live. Don't need makeup and hair done. Let me get that little bit of adhesive, excuse me, leaning in. I've got a little bit of adhesive there, I don't want that on there. Thanking you. And a little bit there. Right, so that should be stuck in. Oh, that one wants to come back out, so we'll stick. You need a little bit more adhesive. I think so. It's the weather. Some things just need a little bit longer to dry, don't they? Right, I'm going to go over each bottom of these with my bone folder, only because it is so warm. There we go. Right. So, each one of these tags is a bit tight to begin with because nothing has been placed in there, but that one can go in there and so on. So I'll put one in each one. They'll become a little bit slacker as the more you play with the box. And that one goes in there. Just adds just a little bit more interest. And one of the other ones I've done, which you'll see when it comes to launch, I've done a double flip in each side with magnets, so they all flip up and down. So there's all different things you can do. So that with that, and then of course we've got all of these that we've done that will just slide in each pocket like so. That one go down a bit further. I'll try it in that one. Might not be dry yet. Got a funny suspicion I might need to leave it a little bit longer. But I need to put a bit of a ribbon in this one here and push that one through. In fact, what I might do is glue the other boxes and come back to this, because leave it a little bit longer to dry. I think I don't want it falling apart. So we'll put this to one side just for a minute whilst we put these other boxes together, because I don't want it falling apart. So let's take these out. So you could have all these boxes loose if you wish, but I am gluing this one into here. So I want that central on, and in she goes. And you can always spread them out so that you can see if you're kind of central on there. So he's going in there, okay? And then the lid for that one can go on. All right, so then we go to the next one, and we want adhesive on this side. And that one will go in the center of that one there, making sure we're about right, and we are. So you can, you know, get your hands in and press in if you want to. Now you can twist these as well, so it looks more like a flower if you want to do that. All right, I'm just going head on for each one just to show you. But one I have, the Christmas one I've done, I have twisted the center of it so it looks like a flower. So we bring these sides up for this one, like so, and then we put that lid on, like so, and then we bring the sides up for that one, and lid on that one. And you could put photo mounts on the outside as well as the inside. Okay, so then we want to get the largest one, and I've just showed you there how to do all that. So take the lids off. This is just to show you, because we've got to add our sentiments. So again, put him central on where you think he's going to be, and then press down. And I know it's out of shot because we are, it's big, this is big, guys. So just press down till you think each layer is stuck. So we're going to put that layer down, and we're going to have on this day. So I'm going to add on this day. Now you could add foam pads if you wanted to. So this is going to be the front of my box. On this day. Then fold this next layer up. Add the lid. Make sure we've got the hearts in the right direction. Okay, and then we're going to have family. And add a little bit of glue to there. And again, like I said, you can embellish further. You could put some little flowers on, or ribbon on, or bows. It's up to you. Next layer with the next lid. And we're going to have friends. So again, friends there. And we need a little bit more adhesive there, Victoria. There we go. And then we're going to slide these in if everything has dried. So let's have a little slide in. These might actually need to be a tad shorter. I've done them a tad too long. I think. Right, you go in there please. Thank you very much. In we go. Yeah, they need a slither taking off these actually, but I will do that later. So you can see they should be level with the pocket there, so they're just a tad too long at the moment, but I will take that down. So pull this one up. I do apologise guys if it's hard to see this because it's so big. It's hard to get it all in shot. Right, one more page. If you want to go. Down we go. So they will slide in and out. I just need to take a little tad off the bottom of them. So they will come up like so. And I am going to bring it into me whilst I get the lid. And there she goes. Come on. I want to make sure the lid's the right way, don't we, with the hearts. That way. That's the way. Remember guys, if you've got directional paper, make sure it is the right way to you opening the box. So mine's been a bit awkward because I need to take a slither off the top of those pages, but add the adhesive and we'll have memories there on the top. Now you could go further, you could add more layers, bring that focal point in a little bit more, but that is your box of memories. Now there is a catch. Where did I put the catch? Have I hidden it? Where have I hidden it? And if so, oh, it's in this box of goodies, which isn't for this box. So let me fish the catch out to show you. Where is it? Come on, out you pop. There we go. So for the catch, you have this little lip here, which you will hook underneath your lid. And then you have two of these little pieces here, and they will stick together back to back like so. So let's just put some adhesive on there, stick that down. Now as you can see, you don't have to have a lock, it's there if you want it. Okay, if you are putting lots in like I have, that lid is quite snug. Okay, but if you do want to put the lock in, this is how you would do it. So basically you have a score line there, stick that on the inside of your lid, and then these would stick back to back on your box like so. That would go through the top, and then you would tie a piece of ribbon and a bow on the front there like that. All right, but I'm not going to put a lock on my box because it doesn't need one, but if you wanted to put one on, that's how you would. And you could put one on one side and one on the other side if you wanted to as well, but you don't have to. So let's move everything out of the way so that you can see it. So when you open it, you would have 1, you would have 2, you would have 3, and you would have 4. And you'd have lots of precious photographs and memories in there. And then each one has its very own lid. And that is the box of memories, guys. So I just want to say thank you very much for joining me today. I'm sorry I didn't show you each and every single box, but I think once you've made the outer box, it really is a rinse and repeat kind of thing, and it's just up to you how you want to decorate it. Like I say, it will be available from Tonic for birthday week. I will have all the links in my description if you decide you would like to purchase through my links. It is completely free. There's no extra charge. There's no charge to subscribe to my channel. Just come and say hi. Come and say hello. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what kind of crafts you like to do. And it would be lovely to have your company. So until next time, take care guys, and happy crafting.